Hi Queens, welcome back to the Queen Esther YouTube channel. My name is Eliana Esther. Today we're going to be talking about the topic of fragrances. What should a real woman smell like? If you're looking into finding your true scent, I am going to help dive into the fragrances that I think should get you started. We're also going to be talking about what a true woman means. What is the characteristics of a true woman? And how do I know that I am turning into a real woman? Not someone that fakes it with the way that they smell or the way they do their makeup or the way they put themselves together, but a true woman of virtue. I want to focus on Proverbs 31 today.
The Queen Esther.
I want to be a little bit vulnerable here. I grew up in a masculine household where the women were very hyper independent. And so the examples I had of a true woman was an independent woman who does not depend on a man or does not depend on anyone to help her. She was the kind of person that only had children with a man, not for the sake of that marriage surviving, but for the sake of them raising children that are going to in turn reward them. I don't know if you guys know, but I am East African. So most of our culture, when people have children, they don't have them because they want someone that they want to cherish or love. It is a tradition to have children for the sake of growing a genealogy and then having those children reward you with money and other things in life. So for me, growing up, I never had a true definition of what a woman who sits in her femininity looks like. It was all very masculinized. And so today we are going to be talking about what a true woman really is, someone who sits in their feminine energy, and how do I become that, as well as obviously showing you my perfume collection. I'm going to link some of the characteristics to these fragrances that I'm going to be showing you today. I'm going to read Proverbs 31 verse 10 up to the 31st verse. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm. All the days of her life, she selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it's still at night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earrings, she plants a vineyard. She sets out her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instructions is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. I love that not only was the Proverbs 31 woman of noble character, but people knew her to be someone of wisdom. Her children praised her because she was blessed because of her character. Not only do we see that the Proverbs 31 woman understood the materials of what it takes to be a true woman, she was a woman of virtue. She was a woman who was an entrepreneur. She made things and sold them, and her household was blessed. In our generation, a lot of women are looking for a man who is going to give them everything, and I don't blame them. I think that the true balance between a woman and a man is masculinity and femininity, which is that a man provides and a woman nurtures. But what I love about the Proverbs 31 woman, she was also somebody that knew, even though my husband is providing for me, I still want to be of value. I still want to have something that has my name to it. And she was a businesswoman. People not only knew her to be that woman who looked after her family, who took care of her family's spiritual needs. She nurtured and fed her children, and she was able to be there for them in that way. But they remembered her as the woman who also knew how to get the bag. That, I think, is worth looking at as we talk about what it takes to be a true woman. Who is a true woman, and how do I know that I am becoming a woman and not just a normal girl? There are so many things that are deceiving us in our generation. You see people that are dressed like a woman, and then when you get to know their character, you realize that this is a child. People in their 30s are acting like children, and people in their 20s are acting like the adults. So how do I know that I'm becoming a noble woman, someone that has great character and wisdom and knows how to be not only a great mother, a businesswoman who gives to people in need, but also somebody that puts herself together in a way that is noble. I love that Proverbs here says, charm is deceiving and beauty is fleeting, but who knows a woman of noble character? This is very, very, very crucial to remember as we move on to discussing what a Proverbs 31 woman is. But before we go there, I want to talk about the first thing that I think a woman should have in her perfume collection. So the first fragrance that we are going to talk about is, what do you think? Well, I just added this to my collection. This is the Valentino Born in Roma or Born in Rome. It's this Valentino Born in Rome. I shall like to say that it smells a little bit. I'll just spray it for you so you can see. So this fragrance reminds me of a woman who owns a little puppy dog, and on Saturdays she does Pilates. She likes to not only do Pilates, she likes to go to golf matches. This fragrance reminds me of a woman that is trying to find herself in a world full of content creators. She just wants to live her life. She does not want to show it off. She just wants to enjoy the little beats and the little moments of life. This is one of my favorite additions that I just added. It's amazing, and the best way to wear this, I would say, is to top it off with like a vanilla fragrance. I always make sure that whenever I wear fragrances, if it's not vanilla oil or a spray that I'm using, I'll always make sure that it's coconut or sugary. I would say the way that I like to smell is more so like, just imagine like Clouds, that song by Katy Perry, and she was up in the clouds. It's not too childish. It's like a woman that likes to have fun. I would describe Valentino Born in Rome as a woman that likes to have fun. This is like one of my signature scents. Every single time I go out on a date, I have to wear this fragrance. I don't like flowers or any perfumes that remind me of roses. I feel like I like to smell like I'm out of this world, and roses are so basic because you could literally walk past your neighbor's house and they have roses and you smell like them, and it's like, well, no one's going to compliment you because you smell like the garden. But this fragrance right here, it's like roses that were planted on Mars. It's spicy, wood, leather. For me, at least, that's what I think. And it's so sexy. It reminds me of a woman in her 40s, and she just discovered that she does not have to listen to what society tells her she should be, and she does not have to act how society wants her to act. When I think about this fragrance right here, I immediately think Erica Jane, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because she is that girl. She knows who she is. I don't know if you guys have seen the episode where she's wearing a red leather top and she's just walking like a queen, and there's a bicycle. It passes right in front of her, and guess what she does? She keeps walking, because how dare you walk past me dressed this good and I'm smelling this good. This is what this fragrance, Rose Prig by Tom Ford, reminds me of. You can never go wrong with Tom Ford. He knows how to make a woman feel like a true woman. The other fragrance that I want to talk about, I'm really excited for this one. This is Chanel number 5. Chanel number 5 reminds me of a woman that hates sports, but she loves watching the tennis matches. She loves going to polo matches. She just loves seeing men wearing Ralph Lauren. It reminds me of a poised woman, someone that is put together. Yes, people call her basic sometimes. Yes, people say that she does not have character sometimes, but when you get to know her in the privacy of her own home, you realize that she is more than a woman. She is a true demure queen. As you can see, I've not used it too much. I have so many fragrances, so sometimes it's a bit hard for me because when I wear fragrances, I don't only wear them for the sake of smelling like something. I have to either be in the right outfit or I'm going to the right event. And so I have not really gone to the right events where this lady deserves to be worn. Now, the way I gag at this fragrance, the way I gag, I have already finished a bottle. Okay. Think vanilla, conservative. She works a 9 to 5. This is a woman who knows what her destiny is. She knows what she must become. She knows where God is leading her to. But she lives a private life where she gives you a little insight into what's happening, but she's also very private. Every time I smell this fragrance, I'm reminded of somebody that knows that her dream life is to be a content creator. She knows that she deserves more than what life has to offer. And she knows that God has called her for a deeper calling than just being an ordinary woman because she's out of this world. Whenever I smell this fragrance, I immediately go to the verse that says, "Charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeting." Because this woman knows that even though she is beautiful, there's more character to me. I am more than my beauty. I have great character development. I have great wisdom, and I can offer that. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. This is Goddess by Burberry. I cannot believe that I almost forgot about my signature scent. My absolute favorite, Miss Delina. Oh, I just love her. She is elegance. She is, I only wear Chanel bags. She is, the only time I will ever wear a Louis Vuitton bag is if I'm going to Kmart or Woolies. This is Delina. Delina is where Proverbs, are you feeling this? I am. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Delina reminds me of the part of Proverbs where it talks about her being a mother and her children praise her and her husband, they praise her and they call her blessed. This is what this fragrance reminds me of because it gives you that scent where the woman is somebody that sits in her feminine energy. She knows that all things come to me as I desire them. I don't have to go out there and force anything to come to me. It just comes to me because I am a woman. I carry that oud and that essence of what it is to be a true goddess, a true woman. This is what Delina reminds me of. If you don't have it, go get your hands on one. Now, I know this bottle is really expensive. I actually got it on a discount for $4.28, but I have something that might work out for you much, much better. And it is Yara Latafa. And this is actually a dupe of Delina. The beautiful thing about this one is that it's really, really affordable, but at the same time, it lasts longer. I think we all know that these are fragrances. Most of them will last you like 4 hours, 6 hours. But whenever I wear Yara, it actually lasts me all day. And I have never not worn this fragrance and not gotten a compliment. I wore this a few days ago to a work event, and I'm telling you right now, the ladies that complimented me were women that were very chic. So the fact that they were able to compliment me wearing this and I wasn't even wearing the original made me feel like I belonged in that high-end industry. So you cannot go wrong with this. This is Yara Latafa. And this is a lot more affordable than the Delina one. I got this one for $40 something. Now it was like in the 60s, but listen, I'm East African. I am always going to talk about the prices when I'm buying something. Those are all the fragrances, but I do want to also emphasize, like I said before, if you really want to smell great, it's not only about the shower routine and the oils that you're putting on. You always want to make sure that you put something on prior to this. And for me, every single time I wear a fragrance, I will make sure that I put on a body spray to enhance it. Have you ever walked past someone and you will literally smell them and the whole day you're just thinking about the way that they smelled? Listen, baby, it wasn't the fragrance that you smelled. It was the combination of the shower routine and what they did before they put on that fragrance. That is why I'm saying that if you really want to smell amazing, it's not only the perfume. A lot of people will go and buy a fragrance and then they'll be like, oh, why isn't this smelling the same as it did with the other person that introduced me to this fragrance? But they won't understand. It's not about your skin, because every skin reacts different to every fragrances. It's about the steps that you're taking before you put on that fragrance. So that's why I want to emphasize on body sprays. I have 2 here. I like to use it in a way that I balance it out with perfumes. So when I get out of the shower, obviously I do my shower routine, which I will share with you in other videos if you are interested. And then I'll add on this spray before I add on perfume. The first fragrance I want to show you, Brazilian Crush. And this is by Sol de Janeiro. I think that's how you pronounce it. English 50-50. So the way I pronounce my words might come off a little bit strange. But this is number 62. I also have the lotion and the oil to go with this. For me, whenever I want to smell like a vanilla queen, I always take the steps of doing a vanilla shower, and then after the shower I put on oil that smells like the shower gel that I used, and then I will spray something. So if you want to smell extra vanilla-ish, extra cloudy, I would definitely recommend that you go get yourself a bottle of 62 by Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush. This reminds me of a tropical island, summer vibes. Someone that likes to go out to the beach and watch people surf. She just likes to smell good and watch people surfing because she likes that Australian man that has blonde hair and just looks amazing. Amazing. I mean, oh, every time I wear this, everybody says I smell amazing. It's a combination of vanilla, coconut, and pistachio. This one cost me about $70. You can get an alternative to that. And the alternative to that would be Victoria's Secret Coconut Passion. This, it really does smell like coconut. I can't even tell you that, or like it's a mixture of this and that, because whenever I smell this, all I smell is coconut and vanilla. It's really, really great. I remember wearing this and I went to a brand new nail salon, and the lady couldn't stop asking me what I am wearing. I couldn't remember what it was. And by the time I got home, I realized it's the Coconut Passion by Victoria's Secret. It's really, really amazing. So yeah, that's Coconut Passion. I hope that you were able to find something that you loved. Let me know in the comments below when you go out and smell these fragrances, what you think about them. I love finding people that love smelling like I do. So I hope that was able to help. Now I want to just dive a little bit deeper into what it means to be a Proverbs 31 woman. The definition of a true woman, a true queen, someone who carries herself with not only grace, but wisdom. She's beautiful. She knows how to dress. She knows how to put herself together, and she knows when to talk, and she knows when to be quiet. I want to emphasize that the Proverbs 31 woman was not someone that let people drag her. Okay, she knew how to set goals for herself, and she knew what her value was. Even though she married someone that provided for her, she knew that there's so much more to me, and I'm going to make sure that people will remember that out of me. And she created a business for herself. She did something that would change the trajectory of how people remembered her. And as a result, people around the world knew her to be a Proverbs 31 woman. Obviously, when we think about a Proverbs 31 woman, at least for me, I'm taking into the 19th century, the 18th century, because it was so much more easier to sit in your feminine energy. But I want to talk about the things that you can do if you are interested in the business side of the Proverbs 31 woman. This is business ideas I think you can still sit in your femininity and do. These are things like trading, having a makeup business where you're investing in your skills, doing nails. Think about somebody that loves to be a woman and you just want to be able to expand that to others. So there are things that you can do that might help you. Think about what is something that whenever I do, I feel like I'm sitting in my best femininity. At least for me, it's when I dress up, it's fashion, it's makeup. I find that when I look at people and I'm able to tell them, look, this would look amazing on you. And when I see them taking my advice, I feel fulfilled. That is how I sit in my feminine energy, through clothes. Because for me, at least, clothes tell more of a story than what you say. Because when people look at how you dress, they immediately go to, because she dresses like this, I know that she likes these kind of things. So for me, what makes me feel that I connect to the entrepreneurial side of the Proverbs 31 woman is fashion. Think about that thing that drives your femininity. I know for a lot of women, they love to read books. So it might be that they are meant to be writing books, whether that is in the areas of children or even digital marketing. For some of you, it might just be that you have a way with your voice, and people have always told you that you have a calming voice. That might lead you into thinking about business ideas of what can I do with my voice? You can maybe start a business where you read books for others. And if it's not books, you could illustrate for others. There's so many different things that you can do as a woman that do not take you out of your feminine energy, but they allow you to embody that area of the Proverbs 31 woman where you really feel like you are able to not only be smart and get that bag, but you can embrace your femininity and make it bring something into your household. I love that the Proverbs 31 woman never sat at home and said, I'm just going to sit here, be feminine. My husband will provide everything for me. But she went out there and she did something for people. She sold things. She was a fashion designer. She traded. She was a giver. She gave to the poor. I also want to talk about today's affirmation before I forget. I want you to think, I'm watching this video because I want to know if I embody what it takes to be a true woman. So today's affirmation, I want it to be reflective of inner beauty and abundance. Today's affirmation, I am abundant because I carry the essence of a woman. Therefore, things fall into my laps because as a woman, I am abundant. So I want you to say this to yourself as you're listening to this video. I want it to be embedded in your mind. I am an abundant creature. Everything my soul desires, everything my spirit desires comes to me because I carry the essence and the energy that is worth attracting these things. That is today's affirmation. As a woman, I want you to know that God has created a spirit in you that brings things to yourself. That is why when you look at the stories of Abraham and Sarah, Abraham provided for Sarah. When you look at the stories of Rebecca and Isaac, or Jacob, I can't remember which one it was, he provided for her. Why? Because she carried energy that made the man provide for her. In fact, when he saw Rebecca, he knew that this was the woman for me, and he felt comforted. He did not feel comforted because she carried herself a specific way. He felt comforted because she sat in her feminine energy, and she did more than just be a wife for him. She carried energy within her that attracted abundance and what it was to be a true woman. So I want you to remember that as a woman, you are not what you look like on the outside. You carry energy, and that energy reflects by how you look like on the outside. And then the other thing that I want you to remember of what it is to be a Proverbs 31 woman is when you read this story, Proverbs 31 verse 10 to 30, you can see that this woman did not have a very loud demeanor. What she did in life, it spoke a great deal for her. She never was somebody that had to flaunt her wealth. She was wealthy as well, but she didn't have to flaunt it. People remembered her where she was because she just had this thing to her character. She was quiet, but she was loud. Does that make sense? Like right now, I'm wearing this fur coat and it's made of real mink. Thank you very much. But I don't even have to speak. The moment I come and I sit down and I stare at this camera, you can already tell that I like luxury by just looking at me, the way that I've put myself together. Why? Because the character that I have on the inside of me reflects in what I wear. It's not what I wear that reflects my character. I carry that on the inside of me, and then I do that which is on the inside of me. So I want you to remember that a true woman is somebody that does not have to say too many things. She's a woman of a few words, and everything that she is inside speaks for her on the outside. She's not loud. She's not someone that likes conflict. She's just simply someone that exists, and everything comes to her as she is existing in her true nature that God put her on earth to be. Verse 25 and 26 describe her as someone that is covered with wisdom and dignity, right? She speaks with wisdom. She doesn't speak into it. She walks into it. The true essence of a woman is somebody that knows, why am I saying what I'm saying? And she knows how to use her words to her advantage. She knows how to use her words to be impactful. And so that takes wisdom for somebody to be able to say, what am I saying? Is it worth saying this? And is it going to be impactful to those that are hearing my words? Verse 18 says, she sees that her tradings are profitable. So she is a woman that is of great faith, because when she trades, she's not putting her money into something and then saying, I hope this is going to be profitable. She sits and she knows that she is profitable because what she carries on the inside, when she trades by day and she trades by night, she knows that the profits I have put out there are going to come back to me tenfold, because I know that I am profitable. I know what I have to offer on the table is profitable. And so she profits because she knows of her worth. She is a woman who understands that I am worth it. And therefore, because I carry that worth on the inside of me, whatever I put out there is going to bring something back. So she's not a woman that worries. She's not someone that is full of anxiety and worry, because she understands that because I am a woman of a wisdom, I am profitable. Therefore, what I put out there shall reward me. And that is the second affirmation of the day. What I put into the universe, what I put into this world, I am going to reap and profit from that because I am profitable. I love verse 15 here. It describes her getting up at night. It says she gets up while it is at night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. This shows that this woman was not selfish. She was a woman that understood that if I am going to be the nurturer of this family, I have to feed it. Not only did she feed the family, but she fed her servants. So she wasn't a selfish woman. She was a compassionate woman. When I look at this verse, I think immediately of somebody that is married into ministry. A lot of the times we see the woman in ministry, she is like quiet. She doesn't say a lot of things because her husband is the head and everybody has to see that. But when I think about a woman that is in ministry, you don't see the background work that is happening on the inside of her house. The prayers she's pouring into her family, the prayers that she's pouring into her friends, the prayers she's pouring into her future. A Proverbs 31 woman, verse 15, is a prayerful woman. She knows that in order for something to happen, I have to do something about it. And that means I have to get up before everybody does, because I have to make sure I put in the spirituality before the work happens. And so for my spiritual ladies, I want to emphasize on meditation. When you wake up in the morning, you meditate and you journal and you think about what you want to be, and you manifest it by praying, through prayer and doing things that are going to allow you to walk into that future that you see for yourself. I love verse 10 and 11 because you could tell by who she was by looking at the man she was married to. Do you know that as a woman, people can look at your friends and they can tell by the person that you are by seeing who you hang around with? Do you know that people can tell by looking at the person you're dating if you are a woman who values herself? This woman was married to a man who praised her. Her husband had so much confidence inside of her that he praised her. That is how you know she loved herself so much, that she married a man who saw so much value on the inside of her that he was confident that if I make a mistake today, if I trade and the trade does not go right, if maybe I pitch an idea to my boss and that idea does not fall through, I'm confident that this woman's essence, what she carries inside of her, is going to help me become the better man in this situation. And so he found confidence in her because it was through her energy, her feminine energy, that he was able to feel that he can embrace his masculinity. So I want you to know that a woman of grace and a woman of value is somebody that even the people who are around you will be changed. Their lives will be changed because they will find confidence in you through the things that you carry inside of you. And those things will manifest by your words, by the way that you treat others. People will find confidence in you because you carry yourself that way. So, my loves, that is all that I have for you today. Please reflect and go back to this video if you need to understand the true nature of what it takes to be a woman. I hope this video was able to help you recognize the things that you have inside of you that remind you of what it means to be a woman. So you can go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Leave a comment below as well. Let me know how this video was able to impact you. And until next time, I will see you. Love you all. Bye.